My question wasn't about the class specifically, but one of our upcoming classes has an oil I haven't heard of, Gordaldo.
Oh yeah, it's a type of yarrow. It's they call it yellow yarrow. Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's actually kind of hard to find. Like it used to be my go-to yarrow when I was working with athletes because it doesn't quite have the anti-inflammatory properties that like the regular yarrow does or even the milfoil, but it's really good for releasing fascia, calming and releasing fascia. It's very good for helping to detoxify the skin, helping the body to detoxify, but it's really good for fortifying the endocrine system. Like it doesn't like Three Wise Men stimulates the system, but the Gordaldo like fortifies it. Like it doesn't really stimulate everything. It just makes everything a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger. And so it's very good for that. It's very good for the nervous system, and it's a bit of an antispasmodic. Yeah. It also reduces uh, cardiac stress on the heart muscle. Like I would say it works as good as pine, if not better than pine for that. That's part of what, like when I was traveling with athletes, I was usually working with endurance athletes. And so they have like just huge amounts of cardiac stress. And the more that you can reduce that, because they're performing several days in a row, the more that you can reduce that, the more that they recover. And then the next day they can perform even harder or stronger. And so there you're using it to improve, performance. But as we get older, we're just trying to improve health or, yeah, things of that nature. Because sometimes people will complain of they can feel their heart, their physical heart, like in their chest, like it doesn't hurt, but it kind of aches. And like an old way of saying it is the pH of the heart is off, which is true, but it's more of that it's starting to be more prone to cramping. And so that is starting to be a little bit of a precursor to, the potential for heart attack, much later in life. But if you can reduce the cardiac stress at some point, it just starts changing the way that the heart functions. So the issue is it's really super hard to get. Like I think the last time I had it was almost 15 years ago. And then when I hit some certain vendors, I go through my little list of what about this, what about that, what about this, what about that, things that have just gone away. And lo and behold, somebody was able to track this down. So I didn't buy up a bunch, but I bought up enough for a while.
I always love new oils and getting
Yeah,
them in class because it's always fun to try.
It doesn't have the dark blue like normal yarrow. I'd say it's even a little lighter than milfoil, but it's different. Like the thing that I used to do with the endurance athletes is, when they get ready to race or perform or try out or whatever, the quicker they could break a sweat, the quicker that their muscles would warm up and they could go to like maximum effort. And, after a few days of doing stuff, sometimes that warm up time would be 30, 45 minutes, an hour of just getting around, going real slow, loosening the body up. I would put like 3 or 4 drops of that on the wrist, have them do this, inhale it a few times, and they'd come back and they'd go 5-10 minutes, I'm ready to go. And I was like, it's any time you make the skin break a sweat, especially for an athlete, they are able to warm up their muscles much quicker, and their body detoxifies and handles all the metabolic waste that happen with performing. And so what would happen is I put a few drops on, have them go ride, they'd break a sweat really quick, and bam, they were ready to go. And so if you look at it from the point of view of an athlete, they've been exerting, they've become a bit toxic, they've been sweating, it's accumulated on their body. So what happens over a period of time is they're really predisposed to skin congestion. And, helichrysum works really good for that. There's a few other things, but their Goraldo, oh, man, nothing touches it. Like, it is so much better for skin congestion than any of those other things. And helichrysum is pretty darn good. And so it just opens up the skin, and you don't even have to cover all of the skin. You could just get it on a little bit of the skin, and it just starts happening everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.